All right, boom. So I've been wanting to do reaction videos for a very long time, but I don't know what was actually preventing me from doing it. But I would always like make excuses, always, I don't know, have something else to do, or I don't know. But finally, I got to the point where I decided there's no better moment than right now, right? So I've been kind of doing my research. I've been kind of learning a thing or two, and in doing so, I decided now is the time for me to get to making these reaction videos. So here it is. This is actually going to be my first ever reaction video that I filmed. Trust me when I tell you, like I've tried a few other times, but this is the actual first one that I've actually, how would you say now, filmed and exported. And I haven't watched this video yet. I think it's actually better when you don't watch the video prior to like reacting to it because you're reacting to it. So that being said, let's get into the video. So the title of this video is going to be what happened to CJ after Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is one of my favorite video games. It's an absolute classic video game. Even though I don't play video games as much these days, right? I can't tell you when's the last time I played Grand Theft Auto. I can't tell you when's the last time I played a video game. Well, besides FIFA, I did play FIFA, but other than FIFA, it's not even called FIFA anymore. Right? It's not even called FIFA anymore. It's called FC 24. Well, now it's FC 25. Anyway, it just goes to show you that I don't play video games as much these days. But if Grand Theft Auto 6 does come out, then that's something I'm probably gonna have to revisit that and maybe not say that as much, because if Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, you bet your bottom dollar your boy's getting a PS5 and your boy's getting Grand Theft Auto 6 and your boy's playing FC 25 and all of that other sort of stuff. But anyway, I figured why not do a video. And actually, I didn't even go out looking for this video or anything like that. It just magically popped up when I was refreshing my YouTube page and I was thinking about videos to react to. And I didn't watch the video yet. I haven't watched it, right? Because that's the whole point of reacting, is to react to it, right? But this seems interesting. What happened to CJ after San Andreas? That's the title of this video. What happened to CJ after San Andreas? This video is by Dr. Mod, so you guys check out his YouTube page and maybe watch the full video uninterrupted on his channel. But let's get into it. Let's find out what happened to CJ after San Andreas.
In GTA 5, Grove Street is now under the control of the Ballers. Anyone who's played San Andreas will know this is very bad news for CJ and the Grove Street family. So what happened to CJ after the events of GTA San Andreas?
Hey, you know Grove Street used to be family hood. Grove Street family? Man, long time ago. Man, what happened to them dudes? Shit, I don't know.
So the clip that's clipping right now, I believe that's from Grand Theft Auto, what's it, 5? I think that's what we're up to. We've been on Grand Theft Auto 5 for like 10 years. It's been a crazy amount of time. Was it 10? Maybe like 9, something like that. I don't know. It's been a minute, right? But anyway, yeah, I think this is, what's that? I don't even remember the guy's name on Grand Theft Auto 5. Like I'm not going to front, like I played Grand Theft Auto 5, but like after I beat it like twice, I just didn't play it anymore, right? And I'm not talking about like, with the customization that these guys are doing now, where they're customizing everything and they're having their own like alternative worlds and all of that sort of stuff, which looks sweet. Like I haven't played that version of it yet, but I'm talking about like the version that they actually sold in stores for like PS4 and stuff like that. So after beating it a few times, and I think, but this is years ago, so I don't quite remember how it ended, but I guess you could have like alternate people that you kind of you have like different, like, because there's 3 sort of main characters, so you could end it with all 3 of them in different ways. So I guess after the first couple of times that I beat it, it's like there's nothing else left to do, so you just kind of just not play it anymore, right? But yeah, anyway, really, really good. But yeah, for sure, it definitely ain't no San Andreas. San Andreas was it's just different.
Well, as it turns out, we do know some details that are very interesting. Our first clue comes from CJ himself and the events that happened before San Andreas. Before GTA San Andreas, CJ is living in Liberty City. We know that CJ got too overwhelmed by his brother Brian's death and moved here because of it. It wasn't until Beverly Johnson...
I'm not going to front, I didn't even remember that was the name of his brother. Because I do know he had another brother, and his name's not coming to mind. Sweet, that was the name of his brother. So he had a different brother. His brother was Sweet, but now we finding out. I guess this is probably something that I might have known back then, but I didn't even know his brother's name was Brian. But yeah, very well written video game. I think they had, what's that name of the Samuel L. Jackson was in it. Yeah, man, it definitely was trailblazing. It was definitely a different type of video game, and back then, the budget that they had to put up to get somebody like Samuel L. Jackson, to sort of play like this some sort of Training Day character, that remember Denzel Washington with the Training Day character. You know what I mean? You had when you flipped on Grand Theft Auto, it's a similar sort of character like that you had with Samuel L. Jackson's character. And what's the name of the guy? What's the name of the guy? What's the name of him? Tenpenny, Officer Tenpenny.
CJ, Brian, and Sweet's mother is killed in a drive-by shooting by the Ballers that Sweet phones Carl and informs him, and Carl agrees to return for the funeral. This part of the story is our first big clue because it shows us that for a period of time, CJ lost all interest in Grove Street families and had no desire to remain affiliated with the gang culture until the death of Beverly.
So sweet, you want?
Evidently, your boy left. You know what I mean? Well, obviously, I don't think they call it South Central in the game, but let's be straight. Like, it's based on like South Central. But he left San Andreas to go to Liberty City, which is like based off New York, but it's not really New York. To basically change his life, you know what I mean, and get away from the gang life and all of that sort of stuff. And it just took something tragic for him to have to feel like he needed to come back to be a part of his family or whatever it is, and I guess get back in touch with his roots, which is, I don't know, I guess you got to do what you got to do for your family, but at the same time, what I would say is, in a real life situation, once you get out of that sort of lifestyle, you don't go back in. You understand what I'm saying? There's other ways that you can kind of, help your family, without diving back into that sort of lifestyle. You know what I mean?
So what happens next is a crucial part of today's story. Following his return, CJ discovers that Grove Street families have weakened over the years due to the rise of the crack trend. Sweet, the gang's leader, doesn't openly admit it, but CJ's absence has impacted the gang's leadership and strength tremendously.
Yeah, things has changed around here.
This suggests that CJ's commitment to the gang is vital for its stability and could give us a foreshadowing later in the video as to why Grove Street is Ballers.
Yeah, evidently, the pride of the people that was around him. I don't know if you guys remember even playing a video game, but when you played it, you remember like when he came back, like he was getting a hard time from people like Ryder, who was his friend, right? And people like Big Smoke. Well, Big Smoke was, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. If you haven't played it, go ahead and play it yourself. But yeah, his brother, like everybody was kind of giving him a hard time, and that was like his core friend group, like the core people that he was around. But yeah, and then it's sort of like you got to build up your reputation again. You know what I mean? Build up your reputation. That way you could start rolling with more people, and you get more respect and all that sort of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It was a very well thought out, well put together video game. I'm not going to front.
In GTA 5 for some very worrying reasons. Our next hint comes from another mission in GTA San Andreas, Homecoming. Prior to this mission, CJ's brother Sweet is in a prison hospital being treated for gunshot wounds, but remains in a stable condition. CJ diverges from Grove Street families once again, establishing his empire and neglecting the gang. Without CJ's leadership, the gang crumbles once again, losing Grove Street and most of its territories in Los Santos. This demonstrates CJ's shifting priorities towards his new ventures and away from the gang life once again until Sweet gets out of prison. It's not until the mission Homecoming, where Mike Torino has us pick up Sweet from the hospital, that we get one of the most important cutscenes in the chapter of the story.
What's up, bro? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? I'm alright, man.
So that scene right there, man, they went to the end of the game to get that scene. That scene right there came from like the last couple missions. I remember that kind of vividly or whatever it is when he had to get his brother out of jail or whatever.
Hey, man, we off to our new spot. We got a mansion, sweet. We've been putting in work, and shit is going well. We got a stake in the casino. We got some insane shit in Fierro. We get into the rap game. Hey, man.
Look at Sweet. Look at Sweet. Look at Sweet. Man, I think we all kind of know got that relative, man. You can't say nothing to please them, because I feel like CJ did everything that he could in order to try to get his brother back out of jail, risk his life, everything, right? Try to get everything legitimized so that they didn't have to do certain things anymore, right? But you could, like, you see how Sweet is right now. Obviously, it's a video game, but it's well written and well thought out, right? You can't say nothing to please this dude. Like, he just, I don't know, man. Bro, you supposed to be happy now your brother didn't, you know what I mean, set a foundation for you. You got out of jail, right? You could go legit now. You ain't got to think about going back. You ain't got to think about risking your life or anything like that now, because a platform's been set out for you, you know? But he not happy.
Let me get you some new clothes. Come on.
Clothes? Nigga, what the fuck is this bullshit? You never did get it, did you, Carl? I need to go check on things in the hood. And that's the problem. You always a perpetrator, running from what's real.
So what's real to Sweet is being hood. That's what's real to him. And, that's the sad part about it. But at the same time, I guess what you know is what you know. You understand what I'm saying? Other people, I mean, when you kind of look at that and you kind of look at real life right now and the things that are happening, man, like we see situations where people have gotten the opportunity to make it out of that lifestyle. And then when you kind of have people with this sort of mentality trying to bring you back into that lifestyle, it's really counterproductive. I'm not going to hold you. As much as I love the video game, as much as I love Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, bro, listen, man, that lifestyle is that lifestyle. We not on that no more. We changed our lifestyle. Let's keep it moving. You guys see what's happening with people like Little Durk and him getting jammed up in situations right now. And, what happened to people like Young Thug and, different type of, like, you know what I mean? It's not far-fetched for something like that happened to a young black man that comes from the inner city neighborhoods, right? But when you get an opportunity to get up out of that situation, don't look back. It's a trap. Do not look back.
Man, shit's fucked up there. You don't want to be in the hood.
No, that's exactly where I want to be. What you done for our hood?
Man, what the hood done for me?
As you heard,
If you are going to do something for the hood, try to elevate the hood, try to, you know what I mean? A lot of people have tried to, come back to the hood and plant seeds, plant good seeds. But at the same time, when you're around certain people, right, and certain type of energy, regardless of what your intentions are, there's still those people that feel like they want what you got. You understand what I'm saying? And we've seen in the case of people like Nipsey Hussle, right, and everything that he gave back to his community, and how, in a senseless act, he was, he transcended this dimension, for lack of a better term. And we've seen it in countless other instances where people have come back to their hometown, people try to help out their hometown, people have planted good seeds in their hometown, and, we've seen what happened to these people. So at the end of the day, real is being able to get yourself out of that situation, being able to get your family out of the situation, and, focusing on pastors new, right? Not getting out of it to go back into it, because end of the day, bro, it's a trap. If you get the opportunity to move and leave it straight up and down.
there once again, with Sweet now free, CJ has no interest in reclaiming his family home, with a strong desire to leave Grove Street behind and go and live in his new home, quote unquote. He doesn't even consider Grove Street his home anymore.
Look like base heads who took over the spot. Let's go home.
This is home, man. Get these fuckers out of Mom's house. You was born in there. Damn.
But of course, with some persuasion from Sweet, he agrees to help him take it back. But CJ is now the new manager for Mad Dog, and it looks likely that Sweet
Mad Dog. Hey, y'all remember that mission with Mad Dog when he was on the roof, and you gotta line the truck up, make sure the truck, like the hay part, the back part of the truck, is like directly in line with him, so that when he does, because he keep walking back and forth, and then there's people, because it's in Venturas, which is like in real life will be Vegas. So there's people like on the side just betting, and you know what I mean. It kind of remind you how the modern day people are like. Whenever sometimes people are in trouble and they need help or whatever it is, instead of helping them, people like pull out their phone to try to record or whatever it is. But back then it was like, all right, people just placing bets like, oh yeah, I bet he's gonna jump, and like people egging him on, telling him to do that. And but CJ was able to save his life, and yeah, became his manager. Success story.
Agreed to leave the Grove Street families behind in the years after the events of San Andreas. Fast forward to GTA 5, set in 2013, and Los Santos has undergone significant changes.
Whoa, 2013? So yeah, it's not even 9. I said 10 first and I said 9, but no, it was 11 years ago. God damn, bro. 11 years? What y'all waiting on to put out 6? What's going on? When's 6 coming out? Yo, Rockstar, when is Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out? You know how many people been waiting on Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out, bro? And it's still not here yet? 2013 is crazy, bro. That's wild.
Grove Street is now controlled by the Ballers, and the original Grove Street families are nowhere to be found.
Seriously, dog. Families for life. Hey, man, you really don't want people hear you saying that. Yo, so let me ask you something, F-Dog. Man, it's Franklin. What? Are you Grove Street? Is Grove Street like a myth? Man, that's some old school shit. Hell no, it's not a myth.
So this hints that a significant event leading to the gang's decline happened somewhere between the 1992 and the early 2000s. This interesting Life Invader post says, "Thanks for giving us Grove Street. We know that this is in the same universe as we mentioned earlier."
Wait, it's a ELS Ballers, Darnell Stevens. Wait, what exactly is this? I ain't really get this last part or whatever it is, but ELS Ballers. I'm gonna have to watch this video back to find out what the guy just said, because I really kind of wasn't paying attention. I sort of was lost in the sauce of the E-Dog or whatever it is that he was calling that dude. But with ELS Ballers in the house, ELS Ballers in the house, your house. Thanks again for giving us Grove Street, bitches. Okay.
Because we actually hear Lamar and Franklin talking about Grove Street and how it used to be family's turf a long time ago in a mission in GTA 5.
Hey, you know Grove Street used to be family hood.
Grove Street family? Man, long time ago.
Man, what happened to them dudes?
Shit, I don't know. Could be dead. Shit, or could be CEOs by now.
Or probably living in some suburbs somewhere, driving SUVs and shit, soccer moms and shit, coaching little league football team.
Yeah, the suburban flight, huh? Probably so.
That's gonna be
But
me and you.
in GTA 5, another massive Easter egg can be found that drove fans absolutely crazy. Because during the mission Hood Safari,
And that should be, listen, that's the goal. That's the aim. You know what I mean? Either you get out, you become a CEO, you elevate yourself, and you're able to elevate people around you, the people that you love and people that you care about. You're able to provide a better life for them. You move to the suburbs, you know what I mean? And just, get away from that type of lifestyle. I mean, that should be the aim at the end of the day.
you can actually see these characters that look very much like the characters from GTA San Andreas in the opening mission where you ride on the BMX bicycles. However, using a no-clip mod, we can clearly see this is an Easter egg intentionally put in there by Rockstar Games. So what happened to CJ and Sweet? Well, firstly, we take a look at GTA 4. As you can see here, this billboard can be found in Liberty City in GTA.
Oh. See, I never even... What's crazy about this is I've never even seen this Easter egg before. But that dude definitely does look like CJ. Wow, okay.
Goes CJ on an advertisement for a luxury clothing brand, suggesting that around the year 2008, where GTA 4 takes place, CJ is still a widely known figure within the business world and likely points towards him still being alive at this point in time. However, this could all change in a little bit later in this video where I reveal something very surprising. But firstly, before that, let's also take a look at a few more references to CJ and the families in GTA 5. There's also this book in Lester's house that reads Surveillance, and on the front cover of the hardback book, we can see a very iconic...
Wow, look at that. Surveillance. Look, that's CJ right there, y'all. Look right there. That's CJ. That's crazy. I never noticed none of that.
Johnson with a target over his face. This goes to show that CJ was a prominent figure and well known, even so much to have his face on a book cover. Yes, this is just an Easter egg put in there by Rockstar Games. However, I do feel that there may be a deeper meaning behind this. We also see in one of the bathrooms of Franklin's house, you can find CJ's toothpaste, which goes to show that possibly CJ, as we mentioned earlier, is now a famous businessman and even has his own toothpaste company as opposed to his own luxury clothing brands. Now that one might be a far stretch, but nevertheless it's still in the game. So is that it? Is CJ actually alive and well? Well, he might not be. We have a twist in the story now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If he's still around and still alive, it'll be dope after 20 years for CJ to have some sort of role in GTA 6 that's coming up. He'd probably be like a grandfather at this point. Because remember, San Andreas, even though it came out in 2004 or 2003, 2004, one of them years, the setting was 10 years prior, which is like the early 90s, 1992, or 12 years prior if it's 2004, like 1992, the early 90s, right? So that's like 30 years. That would be like 30 years, provided, you know, the setting for GTA 6 is like modern times, right? If it's like 2050, then, you know, he's probably not going to be playing a role. But maybe they'll talk some more about him. Maybe there'll be stories about him. Maybe there'll be like some sort of, you know, side mission or something, you know, to kind of pay homage to the legend that is CJ. But who knows, man?
There's something that throws the narrative off completely has been discovered in GTA 5 and has honestly left me quite confused. Now, what you're about to see and hear is an NPC conversation that can be heard in GTA 5 that has some very interesting things to say.
We gotta get that money. Yeah, you really are cool, man. Yo, what's up? You know OG Johnson is gutter as a motherfucker.
Wow. Okay, so this character just said OG Johnson is gutter.
OG Johnson. That's CJ last name. Carl Johnson.
Now, OG Johnson is 100% either CJ or Sweet. OG meaning original gangster, Johnson being, of course, the surname of Carl and Sweet. So this basically means that they are living homeless, they're dead, or they're very poor, living in a bad way. So why would Rockstar Games add this NPC conversation into the game where they claim that OG Johnson is poor or living in a terrible condition? So is it true that CJ or Sweet, whoever this NPC is referring to, is either homeless, dead, or completely lost all of their money? Now, of course, we don't really know what happened to CJ in the events of GTA 5, but this narrative by this NPC here completely throws us off track and confuses me, quite honestly.
That's some old school shit.
Who knows? It might not even be them. It might be some other OG Johnson. Meek could be OG Bobby Johnson. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know what I mean?
I believe that this NPC could have been referencing Sweet. Maybe Sweet has left CJ's side and is living less wealthily. But honestly, I just can't see CJ leaving his brother behind like that.
Enjoy this. It takes
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Sweet, to be honest with you, Sweet seemed like he couldn't leave that lifestyle alone, right? So at that point, when it's like you trying to save your brother, I get it. You love your brother. You trying to save your brother. You trying to do everything that you possibly can to make sure that your brother is on the straight and narrow and doing the things that he's supposed to be doing. And now y'all living as legitimate businessmen, right? But if your brother wants to live a certain lifestyle that's different from you, and you no longer living that lifestyle, then by all means, man, you know what I mean? Your brother's a grown man. He's going to make his own life decisions, right? So you're going to love the people that you love. But again, CJ's the little brother, right? Sweet was the big brother. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like, man, all right, cool. That's the life you want to live. That's the life you want to live. I can't stop you, but, you know, CJ got to live his life. So I don't necessarily agree with the narrator on that, but, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah? Oh, what the hell are you doing? Shit.
So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section.
Yeah. So, boom. Wow. We done did it. Again, Dr. Mod, I'm going to drop the link to his video in the description. But yeah, this is just something where I wanted to do a reaction video, and this is, yeah, I felt like this was be the perfect way to just kickstart that whole reaction video thing. But anyway, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember what it is. Anyway, just make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's been tuning into the lives and talking about, you know, the things that we be talking about. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We grew to 3,000 subscribers, 3.3 thousand subscribers, and I'm so grateful for it. I appreciate each and every single person that has subscribed and each and every single person that supports the channel. Thank you guys so much. On we go. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.